Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. It is still my email. Reach out to me for pricing concerning this or any of our watches. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're discussing a model launched in 2014, part of the GPHG Aguidor winning DB28 collection. This is the Bethune DB28 Maxichrono. 46 millimeters in diameter in rose gold. It is 12.8 millimeters thick, so pretty slim, all things considered, with variable geometry, compressible spring-loaded floating lugs designed to conform to your wrist, either 58 millimeters when fully extended or 53 when fully compressed, with a 26 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. The watch is made of blackened, scratch-resistant zirconium and rich rose gold, and as I mentioned, it is not a thick watch, so once it's on the wrist, it will slide underneath most cuffs. It is large, however. There are several different lug sizes, and regardless of how the watch was originally built by the factory, lugs can be swapped out on request to change the fit, so don't think of them as structurally fixed elements of the design. They are floating literally and figuratively. Now, you can see that the lugs are inboard of the edge of my wrist because of the compression. If I were to let them splay out, they'd be over, but because they compress and they conform, there's no issues there. You can see from over the top, you can also see down the barrel, the lugs are not out over the edge of my wrist, and these are the largest lugs. The strap is calfskin. You can see it's a sort of a taupe on the top, and then on the bottom, lovely adobe. We have a buckle that matches the case. At Bethune, buckles match the watch designs. So not only do we have a buckle design that matches the designs and mirrors the designs of the lugs, but we also have the distinction between blackened zirconium and polished rose gold. And you can see Satination on the bottom and Bethune branded. The last styling vestige of the original Bethune DB1 chronograph, their first watch from 2002, is these little bullet tips on the lug ends, the ogival caps. And then we have a crown that is sharply knurled, making for easy winding and easy grip. That's always a question with a bullhead winder. Will it be easy to wind and grip? And here, because of the texturing and the knurling, yes. We also have a coaxial pusher for the mono pusher chronograph system. You can see that there's a little bit of a mushroom profile of the case as the bezel overhangs the mid case. And then we've got a dial that is solid, which is unusual on the DB28s, which tend to feature dial side barrel bridges, barrels, balance bridge, and escapement. So what we have here is the Maxichrono dial, first proposed on the DB21. What we've got are 5 hands coaxial. Now, the blackened skeletonized Breguet style hands, those tell you the hours and minutes of the day. The hands on top, the blue and the gold, trace chronograph seconds, chronograph minutes, note up to 60, and you can see below the hour hand there, you can see it better. In fact, why not just move those hands? There is a 24-hour hand underneath. So you could see this chronograph has an hour scale that goes up to 24, just as it has a minute scale that goes up to 60, giving you long endurance and the ability to time long duration events. We also have, in addition to the blackened hands for the modified Breguet hour and minutes, we have these lovely applique digital style blackened Arabic numerals, and you can see these concentric scales as well as a dished center, giving it several sector-like areas of demarcation from the hours for the chrono to the hours of the day to the minutes and the seconds, radiating outward in several steps. Turn it all over. By the way, I may as well show you how the mono pusher works. It's a mono pusher, so once you stop, you have to reset. The feeling is excellent thanks to not 1, not 2, but 3 independent column wheels. That's right, the watch has 3 independent column wheels, which makes for world-class tactile qualities, but through the absolute clutch, also precision of activation. Now, when I start it, I press and hold. You can see there's no jumping to the chronograph seconds hand here because the absolute clutch uses a vertical style coupling for the seconds a oscillating pinion for the minutes, and a conventional lateral coupling for the hours. So in addition to 3 column wheels, we have 3 different types of clutch corresponding to the requirements of measuring seconds, minutes, and hours. The hours and the minutes, for example, they don't require the same precision of engagement as the seconds, but they do require shock resistance, so you don't wind up jumping a minute, minutes, or hours under conditions of shock. That's why we have those 3 different clutches, each one suitable for a specific type of chronometric readout. Now you can see the bridges are extraordinarily skeletonized, mirror polished across their top, and interior beveled. This is a manual wind movement, the DB28, that has a 5 hertz beat rate, that is 10 beats per second, 36,000 vibrations per hour, just like a Zenith El Primero. We have a patented hairspring that is 2 pieces shaped by hand, clamped together, breathing like an overcoil, concentrically in any position, but flat and shock resistant like a flat hairspring. We have a balance with a silicon wheel and a white gold rim to reduce the susceptibility to temperature changes, to maximize the mass in the rim, and to reduce the effect of aerodynamic drag on precision timekeeping. We have a twin barrel movement with 5 days of power reserve. All this water resistant down to 30 meters. Bethune makes its own cases, movements, and dials, so every part of this watch is Bethune. They are thoroughly invested in the process, right down to the finishing of the individual components. They control the entire process, which is why the company has only made just over 3,000 watches since it was founded in 2002. And you can see here that the balance is mounted on a full dual-anchored balance bridge so that it's better braced against shock. There's even a silicon low lubrication, low friction, long endurance escape wheel to improve chronometric precision and reduce maintenance requirements. In other words, this watch is stacked. If you love it, reach out to me. I am T. Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.